Sri Lanka, Asia's dazzling jewel, sits like a teardrop in the Indian Ocean right below India. It's just 50 kilometers from its giant neighbor, split apart by the Pak Strait. Covering 65,610 square kilometers, barely bigger than West Virginia, this compact island packs a wild mix of scenery, lush rainforests, foggy hills, and miles of golden beaches. Even cooler? It's home to 26 national parks, turning it into a haven for anyone who loves nature and wildlife. The weather here is a total split personality. One side of the island might be soaked by pounding monsoon rains, while the other soaks up clear, sunny skies. With two separate monsoon seasons at play, Sri Lanka flips between extremes, all in one tiny package. As of 2024, about 23 million people call this place home. The Sinhalese make up 74%, mostly Buddhists, while 15% are Tamils and Indian Muslims, blending into a lively, diverse culture. You'll hear Sinhala and Tamil as the main languages, but English pops up everywhere too. Sri Lankans swear by the power of a good grin. No matter who you are or where you're from, they'll flash you a warm, welcoming smile. This isn't just a spot to visit, it's a bite-sized world, bursting with life, like an open book begging you to dive in and explore. If you want to know more, leave a comment with the number 6 factorial. 2 capitals. Sri Lanka stands out with not one, but 2 capitals, each dishing up its own vibe. Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte keeps things calm and classy as the administrative hub, while Colombo hums with energy as the lively, opportunity-packed commercial core. Tucked right beside Colombo, Kotte skips the chaos for a quieter, more refined feel, like a town built for politics. Life here rolls at an easy pace. Suited-up officials stroll out of government buildings, tuk-tuks zip down shady streets, and temple bells chime from historic spots like Kadi Raja Mahavihara. Though it's the official capital, Kotte still feels like a timeless village more than a power hub. Funny thing is, plenty of Sri Lankans hesitate to crown Kotte as the real capital. They're too hooked on Colombo as the nation's beating pulse. In contrast, Colombo is the largest, busiest, and most modern city in Sri Lanka. The streets are always bustling with various vehicles, from old buses and tuk-tuks weaving through corners to shiny cars parked in front of financial centers. Life in Colombo is a mix of tradition and modernity. In the morning, office workers sit in upscale cafes like Barefoot Cafe, sipping on famous Ceylon tea, while street vendors weave through traffic selling everything from tropical fruits to hot hoppers. In the evening, Galley-Face Green becomes a gathering place for everyone, from families strolling along the beach to young people playing soccer on the grass and kite vendors creating a vibrant atmosphere. This capital also boasts an incredibly diverse community. You can find Buddhist temples, Catholic churches, Hindu shrines, and mosques all within a few blocks of each other, showcasing the unique cultural diversity of Sri Lanka. Overall, it's a city for power, a city for economy, both creating a perfect balance for Sri Lanka. Weddings. Weddings here? They're on another level. If you're used to quick 1 or 2 day affairs in the USA, Sri Lankan wedding will blow your mind. In Sinhala and Tamil traditions, the party can stretch over 7 days or longer, packed with rituals, and the bride rocking up to 6 stunning saris, each one a showstopper. From the rituals discussing the wedding dowry and the marriage ceremony on the first and second days, to the solemn vow exchange and bride's welcome on the 3rd day, the official family celebration on the 4th day, the groom's family formally receiving the bride on the 5th day, the purification ceremony for the couple on the 6th day, and finally the grand celebration on the 7th day. Each ritual has its own meaning, and the bride wears a unique sari to match every occasion. And just like that, a Sri Lankan wedding weekends in a dazzling, colorful celebration filled with tradition. Would you like to attend a Sri Lankan wedding, or perhaps even marry a Sri Lankan bride? Comment 2 if yes, and 3 if no. The women of Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan women? They're a rare mix of grace, grit, and allure. Picture this, sun-kissed brown skin, striking big eyes, and thick, glossy black hair flowing free. They drape themselves in bold saris that scream smarts and mystery all at once. These ladies balance strength and softness, old-school values and modern flair. One minute, they're crafting intricate sand mandalas with patience. The next, they're weaving tuk-tuks through sunny streets. They'll pray quietly in ancient temples, then light up the dance floor at festivals. In a mostly Buddhist land with deep-rooted marriage customs, women hold it all together, handling money, raising kids, keeping love alive, and speaking up loud and clear. They are confident and strong, able to stand on their own in society. More and more Sri Lankan women aspire to have their own careers, asserting their status rather than being homemakers. As a result, many Sri Lankan women are attracted to American and European men, especially those who are mature, polite, and responsible. However, dating or marrying them presents a challenge. Gaining the acceptance of their families is crucial. If you want to know why, and would like us to share some tips on successfully winning over a Sri Lankan girl, leave a comment with the number 8, and we'll provide the answers. Kandy dance. And if you skip the Kandyan dance, you're missing Sri Lanka's soul. This isn't just a performance, it's a cultural and spiritual trip back to the Sinhalese kingdom of Kandy, from the 16th to 19th centuries. Once reserved for royal eyes only, now anyone can catch it, though mastering those moves takes some guts. Becoming a Kandy dancer is no simple task. They don't just dance, they must embody strength, loyalty, and a sacred spirit. The high jumps, continuous spins, and incredible flexible movements push the body to its limits. Male dancers wear striking red and white costumes with pleated skirts, silver headdresses, and metallic bangles that jingle with every move. Meanwhile, female dancers are as graceful as ancient queens in their vibrant saris, adorned with floral crowns and sparkling jewelry, their sharp gazes telling stories with every movement. When they perform together, it's a dialogue between strength and grace, like warriors and goddesses. You can close your eyes and just listen to the sound of the Gedabera drums, and you will feel the spiritual energy of Sri Lanka. The rhythm quickens, pounding like a heartbeat, blending with the dancer's steps, creating an intense exhilaration that fills the audience with emotion. If you have the chance, visit Sri Lanka and feel the dance of history, faith, and the mystical culture of this land. Wonders. Sri Lanka is a goldmine of jaw-dropping sights, from its shimmering blue waters and towering peaks to a cultural legacy stretching back thousands of years that'll leave you speechless. Take Marissa Beach, a total stunner with its soft golden sands and see-through waters. It's not just pretty, it's one of the rare spots on Earth where you can lock eyes with blue whales in the wild, especially between November and April. Want more? Ride some waves or snap a killer pic at Coconut Tree Hill, a palm-packed lookout that's pure social media gold. Craving a beach with extra buzz? Anawadona's your spot. Think beachside bars, lazy hammocks, and bright turquoise waves. It's one of Asia's safest swims, perfect for soaking up the sun or diving in to check out coral reefs and old sunken ships. For those who love ancient cities, head to Gali. This isn't just an ordinary city, it's a coastal fortress with over 400 years of history, built by the Portuguese and later expanded by the Dutch. It bears strong European influences in the heart of Asia. You can stroll along the ancient city walls, admire the cobblestone streets, or enjoy coffee in quaint vintage-style cafes. In one of the small streets here, you might even find a red British phone booth, a remnant from colonial times. Moreover, no train journey in the world can compare to the trip from Kandy to LA. This 6-hour journey takes you through lush green tea hills, cascading waterfalls, and ancient stone bridges. Notably, the Nine Arches Bridge is a legendary photo spot where you can capture unforgettable images of the red and green train gliding through the valley. Lastly, there's the Temple of the Tooth, located in Kandy. This is not just an ordinary temple. It houses the sacred tooth relic of Buddha, making it one of the most significant pilgrimage sites in the Buddhist world. So, which location do you like the most among these? Leave a comment. 7. Tea and coffee. Sri Lanka's tea game is world-class. They're the top tea exporter, famous for sprawling plantations and the iconic Ceylon tea label. It's more than a drink here, it's a badge of honor. The rolling estates in Nuwara, Elia, LA, and Kandy churn out some of the planet's best brews. Light, crisp, and downright refreshing. Here's a twist. Despite ruling the tea world, locals often pick coffee as their go-to sip. Sri Lankans have a unique way of drinking tea. They prefer strong black tea, often brewed with milk and sugar to create a rich milk tea. And if you step into a Sri Lankan home, the host will surely offer you a cup of tea before saying anything else. While tea is the #1 industry, coffee culture in Sri Lanka is also quite strong. Young people enjoy coffee for its modern, quick, and urban lifestyle appeal. Cafes in Colombo are always packed, especially with office workers. Sri Lankan coffee is rich and strong, often brewed in the traditional kopi style, but modern trends are also bringing lattes, cappuccinos, and cold brews into vogue. Few people know that Sri Lanka almost became a coffee nation instead of a tea nation. If you want to learn more, leave a comment with the number 4 factorial. Sri Lanka is the kingdom of tea, but has a heart for coffee, an interesting contrast, but it's also what makes this country unique. Ayubowan. Ayubowan, a greeting that's pure Sri Lanka. Imagine meeting someone who instantly wishes you a long, happy life. Locals press their hands together, dip into a slight bow, and say it with heart. It's not just manners, it's a warm, genuine vibe that sticks with you. Sri Lankans greet with all their hearts. Instead of shaking hands like in America or bowing like in Japan, Sri Lankans place their hands together in a gesture similar to Namaste in yoga, bowing their heads slightly while saying Ayubowan with a friendly smile. They can hold this greeting for so long that it might make you a bit uncomfortable. For them, the longer the gesture lasts, the more it shows sincerity and respect. Interestingly, when entering a temple or performing spiritual rituals, Sri Lankans also join their hands and say Ayubowan to Buddha statues, ancestors, and even when visiting the graves of loved ones. They believe that the energy of the greeting can reach the spiritual world. If you visit Sri Lanka and hear someone say Ayubowan, don't just smile and nod, because this greeting embodies all their heartfelt sincerity towards you. Instead, place your hands together, look into their eyes, and return the greeting with a smile. Monks. Picture this. As dawn breaks in Sri Lanka, you spot monks draped in bright saffron robes, padding barefoot through the streets, a breathtaking sight that's pure magic and a cornerstone of life here. This isn't begging, it's almsgiving, a ritual straight from Buddha's days, where folks earn good vibes by sharing. Locals line up along the roads, hands clasped, quietly slipping offerings into the monks' bowls. Nothing fancy, just a scoop of rice, a chunk of veggies, maybe a splash of coconut milk or a fluffy hopper, but every bit carries deep respect and love. Respecting monks is an essential part of Sri Lankan culture. Interestingly, monks do not cook. They only eat what is offered to them in the morning and afternoon. They do not consume anything further. Women, even out of respect, are not allowed to touch monks as per Buddhist precepts, which could compromise their purity. Even more interestingly, in Sri Lanka, monks are not just keepers of the Buddhist teachings. They sometimes shape society as well. They engage in political advising and even have a voice in important national decisions, a fascinating blend of spirituality and power. A land of wonders. Sri Lanka's a jackpot of jaw-dropping surprises, way beyond its killer beaches and old-school temples. Ever met a fish that ditches the water to crawl around on land or even climbs trees? Meet the climbing perch, a local champ that can slink across dry ground for hours using its weird gills to gulp air. With fins and a wriggly body, it moves like a snake, hunting for new puddles when its home dries up. This tough little guy can even hang on without water for days. As you enter the tropical forests of Sri Lanka, you might unexpectedly encounter a lizard that looks just like a mini dinosaur. The horned lizard, Ceratophorus dottertii, has a small horn on its head, giving it a mysterious and somewhat intimidating appearance. But don't let its looks fool you. It's completely harmless and only eats insects. Interestingly, only the males have horns, and scientists are still unsure why they evolved this way. Another fascinating point is the temple made entirely of millions of seashells and gemstones. Sri Singama Kalyaman Koval is a unique Hindu temple constructed entirely from shells, corals, and gems located near the coast. Locals have spent years collecting each shell and assembling them into a dazzling structure. Under the sunlight, stepping inside, you'll feel as if you've entered a fairy tale world where every detail is intricately carved from ocean materials. As the sun sets, the gems on the temple reflect brilliant light, creating an enchanting spectacle like no other. The Vedda tribe. Tucked deep in Sri Lanka's thick jungles, you'll find the Vedda tribe, the island's original crew, showing up over 18,000 years ago, way before big civilizations popped off. They're not Sinhalese or Tamil, they're a class of their own, living tight with nature. No fields or animals for them. They thrive off the wild, treating the forest like a sacred lifeline. They've got their own lingo, full of whistles, and a slick trick mimicking bird and animal calls to chat while they hunt through the trees. They also have a strong belief in the spirit world, conducting rituals to summon their ancestors and dancing to the beat of drums during mystical ceremonies. Their thatched huts and simple caves have been their homes for thousands of years, but all of this is gradually changing. The forests are shrinking and cities are expanding. Many young people from the tribe are moving to cities for work, causing their culture to slowly fade away. The Vedda language is now spoken by very few, as most have switched to Sinhala. The government and some organizations are trying to preserve the Vedda way of life, but it is not easy as modernization rapidly transforms the country. If you had the chance, would you want to step into their forest to hear those mysterious sounds before they disappear forever? Grand festivals. If you swing by in mid-April, you'll land smack in the Sinhala and Tamil New Year bash. It's a double celebration for both communities, tied to the shift in farming seasons, not pegged to US or European dates, but set by stargazers. The whole place lights up with colorful lanterns. Folks dive into old-school games like swinging or tug-of-war, turning the country into one big, rowdy playground. Another spectacular festival is Esala Perahera, the largest elephant parade in the world, taking place in July or August in Kandy. Esala Perahera is one of the most magnificent religious festivals in Asia, honoring the sacred tooth relic of Buddha housed in the Temple of the Tooth. Royal elephants are lavishly adorned, draped in LED-embedded capes, and parade through the city. The event features captivating Kandyan dance performances and sacred religious rituals with monks praying all night long. If you have the chance to visit Sri Lanka, don't miss these two festivals. They are the soul of the culture here. If you want to join the festival here with the locals, drop the number 5 in the comments, and I'll let you know. Things tourists should not do. Sri Lanka's a gem packed with culture, jaw-dropping beaches, and wild nature, but there are some no-nos you've got to dodge to keep your trip smooth and respectful. Love snapping pics? Cool, but never pose with your back to a Buddha statue. It's a big sign of disrespect here and might stir up trouble. Stick to shots from the side or front when you're in a temple. Speaking of temples, dress right, keep those shoulders covered, and wear skirts or pants that hit below the knees since these are holy spots. Forget your gear? No sweat. Some places lend out sarongs, but packing a shawl or dressing modest from the jump is the way to go. Each month, Sri Lanka observes a Buddhist holiday called Poya Full Moon Day, according to the lunar calendar. On this day, bars and supermarkets do not sell beer, and even large hotels do not serve alcoholic beverages. Lastly, if you're thinking about buying a small piece of land along Marissa Beach to enjoy life, forget it. Sri Lankan law does not allow foreigners to own land unless you establish a company or marry a local. Despite these strict regulations, the people of Sri Lanka, known as the most hospitable in Asia, are ready to invite a complete stranger into their homes for tea, as this is a way to show kindness. Living and traveling in Sri Lanka will provide you with plenty of exciting and memorable experiences. Cost of living. Living here won't break the bank. Sri Lanka pulls in nearly 3 million visitors and retirees yearly, not just for its beauty, but because life's cheap, about 30% of U.S. costs. Renting a one-bedroom pad in the city runs $200 to $380 a month. Out in the quieter suburbs, it's just $150 to $280. Bills like power, water, gas, trash pickup, and internet. You're looking at $45 to $60 monthly. Eating out at local joints costs $2 to $4 a pop, while fancier spots might hit $10 to $15 per meal. If you're cooking, grocery runs for the month land between $100 and $150. For transportation, public transport is very affordable, with monthly passes costing only $10 to $20, while taxi fares start at about 30 cents and charge 50 cents per kilometer. If you're into fitness, gym memberships are around $15 to $30 per month. Additionally, dental care is cheaper than in the US, with a basic checkup costing around $20 to $40 and more extensive care costing $30 to $50. Other expenses like a 4G phone SIM card range from $10 to $20 per month, while entertainment such as movies and domestic travel could add another $50 to $100 per month. If you want to connect with the expat community in Sri Lanka, drop a comment with the number 9 in your country's name, and we'll reply to you in the comments. Delicacies. Food here's a total treat for your taste buds. Think bold, spicy kicks, and fun twists. Every plate starts with rice and curry, but it's no one-trick pony. You'll get a heap of fluffy white rice paired with 5 or 6 curries: chicken, fish, lentils, even young jackfruit. The taste pops with a mix of cinnamon, curry leaves, mustard seeds, and coconut. Then there's kotu roti, the #1 street food. You'll hear the clack-clack sound from afar before you see kotu roti. This dish consists of chopped roti bread, stir-fried with meat, eggs, vegetables, and explosive spices. It's particularly unique because it's continuously chopped on a griddle with a large knife, creating a rhythmic sound like a street music performance. Known as hoppers, these bowl-shaped pancakes have crispy edges and a soft, fluffy center. You can enjoy them with eggs, honey, or spicy curry to experience the delightful blend of richness, crunchiness, and spiciness in every bite. No Sri Lankan meal would be complete without pol sambal, a mixture of grated coconut, red chili, lime, and chopped onions. Just a spoonful will awaken your taste buds with a burst of heat. Finally, there's the enticing banana leaf-wrapped rice dish originating from the Dutch-Sri Lankan fusion. This dish is a miniature flavor feast wrapped in banana leaves. Fragrant sticky rice, savory stewed meat, spicy curry, and coconut sambal are all wrapped up and steamed, creating an irresistible aroma you can't resist. For expats, monthly expenses clock in at $500 to $900, depending on how you roll. Think Sri Lanka's your spot to settle? Drop a 1 in the comments for yes, 0 for no. Curious about visas? Comment yes, and we'll spill the details. We've just unpacked 15 wild and awesome tidbits about Sri Lanka together. Hope it flipped your view of this place. Stick with our channel, hit that like button, and share the vid to keep us going. Catch you next time.